Hey guys, we're going to do an activity I like to call the Snowman Meltdown. This activity is focused on dealing with our anger and anger management techniques and some of the things that can trigger our anger to cause us to have a meltdown. The items you'll need for this are simply a piece of paper and a writing utensil. So let's go ahead and get started. With this activity, what you're going to do is just kind of explain to your client that we're going to do an activity to process their anger. And what you'll end up doing is just drawing a simple snowman on the piece of paper. Just your 3 little circles, like so. It doesn't have to be pretty. The whole point is to kind of get an illustration to help the client see what may be going on in their life. So once you draw this snowman on here, you're going to kind of explain to them, okay, we're going to imagine that you are this snowman. And explain to them what it takes to build a snowman. I don't know if you've ever built a snowman before, but it's a lot harder than I thought it was. Just gathering the snow up, packing it so that you can actually make the balls round and make them sturdy. There's a lot that goes into that. And just the same way, there's a lot that goes into us being able to maintain and to do stuff without our anger getting the best of us, without our anger causing us to just that, have a meltdown, which is what happens when things influence a snowman to melt. There's stuff like the sun. The sun comes and it causes the snowman to melt. There may be a neighbor kid that comes and knocks a snowman down. So there's a lot of things that can affect the stability of a snowman, just like there's a lot of things that can affect the stability of an individual when they struggle with their anger. And so an individual that may be working on their anger is actually putting in effort to be able to function on a regular everyday basis without their anger causing them to have blow-ups and have meltdowns, and keep them from being able to interact with other people, keep them from hurting other people, keep them from responding in a negative way. And so, like I said, with this, you've got your snowman, and you want to show them, look, this is your snowman. This is a picture of you, or a picture of you as after you have really put together some of the tools to work on your anger. And now we're going to process some of the things that maybe influence you to maybe make some negative decisions or challenge you in being able to maintain your ability to remain calm and respond in an appropriate way when your anger may be stimulated by something else. So what you may say is, tell me an object that you may want to add to this picture to address an item that may affect your snowman melting. Tell me something that could cause this snowman to not be stable anymore. And so, as I mentioned before, they may say the sun. So you draw a sun up here, and you talk to them. Well, why did you choose a sun? They may say, well, I chose a sun because it's hot. It seems to melt things fast, and with that, I feel like I relate to a sun because I seem to and I feel like there's things around me that seem to get me mad really fast and make me melt down really fast. And so what you might help them to identify here is and correlate with this sun is maybe a quick burning anger trigger. And so as you're processing this with your client, you can look at the specific thing that causes that quick burning anger, but you can also look at ways they can deal with that and ways they can face it in the future. So when you experience, ask your client, so when you experience this, how do you usually respond? Tell me what that looks like. Tell me, as far as verbally and physically, tell me what that looks like. And they'll be able to process that with you. And then you can say, okay, what are the consequences of that? And when you process the consequences, you have a chance to say, okay, how can we do this in a different way? What are some ways in the past that maybe you could have done this better? And what are some ways that we can do this better in the future so that we don't experience these meltdowns. Then you can go through and see what other situations maybe they can influence their meltdowns or anger outbursts. Another example might be they might say, a neighbor with a bat. Maybe this neighbor comes over and, they say, well, there's this, I've got a neighbor here, and I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. A person with a bat, and I chose this because it indicates, different things that people say to me. And it's like, constantly nudging my snowman and constantly nudging my anger. Just like if a bat were to be hitting against the snowman. And so then you process that. Okay, tell me how, when people say stuff to you, it influences you to get angry. It influences your decision to respond in a negative way. And so you can go through as many of these as necessary. If your client struggles with finding a word picture, you may assist them. If you need some ideas, please feel free to comment in the comments below. I can throw some ideas out there that maybe have come to my mind. If you have a chance to do this activity and you see some goods and some bads in it, please comment those in the comments. Please share with me how this activity worked for you and your client. The good thing about this client, as I said, is it's simple, something you can pick up when you feel like your client's struggling to be able to communicate and struggling to be able to get things going. Simple piece of paper, writing utensil, and there you go. Thanks a lot.